But then the rhinoceros turned left and everybody had to bet on the Yankees.
Oh no.
Get it?
No.
Oh, shit, cut the laugh track.
Oh no. Well, hey everybody, welcome back to the ZymCast. My name is Chase Matherly.
I'm Kyle Grubb.
I'm Cheyenne. Hi.
How's it going, Chase?
It's going pretty well. It's been really hot this week.
Psh, baby.
Well, I'm sorry. I had to drive a car with no AC.
That's you problem.
Well, I mean, my main car.
We know.
Yeah.
You talked about this last week.
Did I last week?
This is why I listen to the podcast.
It's still, I mean, the brakes are still like whatever. So I've been driving my other car.
Did you just like put your feet through the floor like Fred Flintstone to slow it down?
Yep. Yeah. But E3 was this week, and that's in downtown LA, which is mighty more hot.
Mighty Morphin Power Rangers?
than next to my house, even though it's like a few miles.
That's all the people.
Yeah. And yeah, no AC is fucking killer.
Yeah, I was driving around in a car that had wonderful AC.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't going to New York.
New York.
I'm sorry.
I don't know why you would be going to New York.
I don't know where New York even came from.
It came from the city of York. They renamed New Amsterdam
Abort.
after York.
Sounds like you had a very fun time dealing with heat.
Yeah, and more.
And more. That's
People.
it. No, just heat.
Yeah. What were you up to?
Very little. Mostly just video games. So
Hey, me too. Except not in the same way.
Not at all in the same way. Just work, video games. Oh, I went to Howlin' Ray's.
Oh yeah, that one place in downtown with the
Really good chicken.
It's okay.
You want to know why you didn't like it that much? Because you got the basic bitch non-spicy chicken.
I don't like spicy, and I mean if the chicken's good without being spicy,
No. Okay, look.
Then it's good. It's good chicken. I mean, it's just far and expensive chicken.
Look, it's very simple. It's not that the chicken needs the spice to be good. It's that the spiciness brings out more flavor in the chicken.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure, but
whatever. No. Fact remains, it was very good, and it was not worth waiting for 2 hours. It
Exactly.
actually was. I just had to buy a bunch of chicken to make it worth it. About like 4 boxes of tenders.
Yeah, for anybody that doesn't know, Howlin' Ray's is not a paid sponsor. It's like a chicken joint.
Down in Chinatown.
Down in Chinatown that has a fucking line to even get into the building.
It's so popular that they tweet out how long the wait times are.
Yep, usually 45 minutes or higher.
To 2 hours.
Yeah. I went the other week with a group of friends. We waited like an hour or so. And I chose the non-spicy option. It's country, I think, is the...
Yeah, country, mild, medium, really hot stuff.
Yeah, it goes up to like Howlin' and then Howlin' Plus.
No, Howlin' is the highest. It's like hot plus and Howlin'.
Well, no, because Howlin' Plus is like the off-the-menu spicy one. But I think hot and higher, so there's hot is the second highest, right?
No, hot is the third highest on the list.
What's above that?
It's something else, hot plus or something like that.
Yeah, and then it's Howlin'.
And then Howlin'.
I think anything above hot, they give you gloves.
Yes. Look, here's the deal. I got medium. Medium was plenty spicy.
Yeah, I know. Everyone else that I went with got medium, and then someone got hot. They tried hot and like, oh fuck that, and there's still like 2 or 3 above that. I'm like, I'm good with my country.
Patriotism.
my plain country chicken.
All right. So games I played this week. Earlier today I started and finished Tacoma by Fulbright.
Toyota?
Tacoma.
Toyota Tacoma?
Tacoma. It's a game by the same people who made Gone Home, which you probably also never played. It's a very good game.
I feel like I know that name, and I've seen gameplay
of Gone Home.
Yeah, what kind of game is that? Is that a horror game?
It's actually not, but it kind of wants to trick you into thinking it is.
Oh, so maybe I did see it.
Yeah, Tacoma. Interesting game about you go to the space station where like all the people were like evacuated or something, and you need to like recover the AI on board, and you have like this augmented reality thing on you that you're like pulling up your recordings of like what happened to the crew.
That's always fun.
It's actually really interesting.
Really good story.
Oh yeah. I really liked it.
Ooh.
And it was beatable in like 3 hours, which normally would have annoyed me, but it was free on Game Pass for PC. Oh, yeah.
Oh, you got the Game Pass for PC?
Yep, I did.
Ooh,
I
I'm
have
talking
Game
about
Pass
that later.
Ultimate. I will. And then also with Game Pass on Xbox, what I've actually been spending a lot of time playing is Outer Wilds.
The one that we confused for Outer Worlds.
Damn right. That game is fucking great. Like, holy shit.
Really?
I was not prepared for how much I have gotten into that game. I don't want to talk about it very much, though. We kind of spoiled last week that you're stuck in a time loop. I imagine if you played that game without knowing that, that would be a hugely eventful moment, because the game does not prepare you for that until it happens.
Oh, cool.
But yeah, you're just like a dude.
Thanks for spoiling it.
Yeah, shut up. You have a 22-minute time loop. It's not very long.
So not 12 minutes.
No, 22 minutes.
Well, I mean, the other one was 12
not 12 minutes. Yeah, you got a whole 10 more minutes because you got a whole galaxy, a whole solar system to explore.
Oh, fuck.
There's like
Wait,
8.
really?
Yeah.
I didn't know it was in space, or did I? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know much about that game.
You're like a little astronaut, and like your whole thing is like you're trying to investigate like this alien species that used to inhabit the solar system that you live in.
That's cool.
And like, so you have like this device you have that like translates their languages. You have
Okay, yeah, I think I have seen some gameplay of this.
you have your a device that like can pick up frequencies and stuff, but like you're given everything just at the start, and it's more just about you going around pulling on like strings, following breadcrumbs, and like figuring out what the fuck happened.
There are breadcrumbs in space? Space?
Spruce goose.
Space breadcrumbs.
There are things like it. The fact is, the game is really good, and like the worlds are insanely varied and cool.
That sounds awesome.
There's like one world that's entirely has like an eternal storm going on around it, and it's like most of the world is just covered in water. So you like crash through the fucking clouds to like get down into it, and there are just like a bunch of tornadoes just going around like the entire planet the whole time. And there are a couple islands. If you're ever on an island when a fucking tornado comes around, the tornado picks up the island and shoots it into space.
What the fuck?
Before it crashes back down. I was not prepared for that when it happened to me.
Yeah, I love that ancient alien lost civilization, like the whole like I know Halo Forerunners.
Yeah,
kind of shit.
Much more personable than that. It's just like this alien species that's like really passionate about science.
That's cool.
And all of like the writing's super cool because it's written in like spirals and it like branches out as you read things.
Okay, I've seen that.
Yeah, but like there's a name attributed to all of the aliens that talk, and they're like there's only so many of them, so like you get to know some of these characters.
Oh,
and they're just the goofiest little people. Just all of their like sayings that like aren't quite our sayings but are clearly close. It's like, my better 50%, how are you today? It's just a super charming fucking game, and it's a lot of fun, and plus the exploration and stuff. It's really cool. I'm not quite done with it, but I feel like I've made really good progress. There's a good amount to chew on, but man, if you're not smart, this game will piss you off. Because this game relies on you thinking outside the box to solve some of its problems.
You just pissed off a lot of listeners.
Yeah, all those listeners.
Mm-hmm. The ones that
I didn't say they're not smart.
Well, I mean, they're probably like, oh, I don't understand this game. It's really hard for me. And now you're like, you're stupid.
Well, I mean, if you didn't understand it, then... I mean, I haven't come across a single situation so far that I couldn't eventually figure out. The problem is that you always have that fucking 22-minute time loop.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of pushing you forward. But since there's so many things to do, sometimes you're like, oh, that was a bust. And then you're just like, oh, I should follow up this breadcrumb, because your computer does a really good job of keeping track of all the information you gain. So it's really easy to, like, on a visual map, just be like, I'm not getting any progress on this storyline. Let's try and see what's going on over here. It's kind of cool. That's also, I'm replaying the original Final Fantasy VII, and for why, we'll get to that in a minute.
I'm sure people know why.
I'm sure they do too.
Yeah.
But Chase, you were at E3.
I was. I got a Gamer Pass. It's my second year at E3. I really liked it last year, but the crowds were fucking incredible. In a bad way, obviously. There were a lot of people. Like, I went with my buddy both years, this year and last year.
Charlito.
No, not Charlito.
I was trying to preserve his identity.
Yeah, sure. We'll call him Charlito.
I'm so glad I've stuck us with Charlito.
Yeah, so little Charlito. We went last year, and what we were saying was like they need to sell less gamer passes because they needed to give like the industry members more time, media and industry more time before, because the way it works is like on any given day there are 3 days of the actual convention that are accessible after the showcases, and it starts off like in morning, depends on like the day, what time it is, but it's like generally like 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, whatever. The first people that are admitted are media and industry, and they get to preview like the show floor first for a few hours, and then within like a few hours after that, then it's open to the gamers to get in line, demo anything, watch anything, whatever. I believe last year they had like less time than this year, and so that's good that they made that change. Like they allowed access earlier for like industry people and give them like more time, so that they don't get fucking rushed by the crowds of the gamers, which is the bigger demographic.
Yep.
Because general public. So that's good, but there were still like a hell of a lot of people last year. Compared to this year, it felt a lot more controlled. Day one, there still felt like there was a lot of people, but then as the days went on, like there were less and less people. So it was much easier to, well, I mean, I say much easier, but it was still hella difficult to get into lines to even demo things. I know the first day we got in, first day gamers were admitted at 2 p.m. And like we entered from the West Hall, but there was nothing really there. I think there's like Nintendo.
Nintendo, nothing.
Yeah, that's the thing. I didn't get to demo any Nintendo stuff, but most of the stuff is in South Hall. So we like made our way all the way to the other side of the convention center to the South Hall where most of the big developers are. And the first thing you see like when you enter is 2K, which is like Borderlands off to the left, and then directly to the right is Square Enix. And they had the Final Fantasy VII Remake right there, and you can see immediately when you walk in is like gamer passes are no longer being admitted today. Like right when we got there, I'm like, holy shit, that line was full. So there was like no chance in hell to demo that. And that was like just the beginning of day one. Like, oh shit. Like,
yeah,
you're going to have to like really know what you want to see if you want to see something specific. And then other games similarly were capped pretty early on. But there was still a lot to see even outside the showroom floors. Like we made our way to Microsoft Center, Microsoft Theater, which is like at LA Live. That's where Microsoft has all their Xbox stuff like outside of the convention center in their own theater. So that helps with spacing. And then there's the E3 Coliseum, which is all the panels, also at LA Live. So there's a lot to see, and you have to like budget your time well.
What?
Yeah.
It's crazy talk.
Yeah. But we did manage the first thing, or not the first thing, but one of the first things that we did, because we saw like all these lines everywhere and like, oh fuck, what do we do? Try to do everything. I actually think the first thing that I looked at was Fallout 76, the new, I don't remember what it's called, but their Battle Royale mode.
Yeah, that game everybody's in love with still.
I think it's like Nuclear Winter. And that was the thing. So for Fallout 76, I remember last year E3, I was at work when the Bethesda conference was going, and I was watching it.
Good job.
Yeah, with my manager at the time.
Good job.
It was really slow. We didn't have anything to do.
There's always something to do.
Yeah, I know there was always something to do. But that was something that I was hyped for. Fallout 76, like a new Fallout, oh, hell yes. And they said it was multiplayer, and I'm like, interesting. Bethesda, not known for their multiplayer, besides ZeniMax, but that's ESO. That's like separate from Bethesda Game Studios. So they even said like we're trying to do this. I'm like, oh, that's great. We'll see how that turns out. Dud. It flopped pretty hard.
by dud, you mean, dude, what a great game.
No, but
no, I didn't hate that game as much as some people, but that game is that's a miss.
yeah, at least on launch too. That was like a huge miss.
Have you played it since?
I have not, but I have heard better things.
Any
From
game
Todd
gets
Howard,
better.
but it's like not really credible source when you're talking about objective views of video games.
Guys, I promise my game is better now.
Yeah. But the funny thing was this year, Todd Howard like kind of owned up to that. He's like, yeah, we kind of had a rocky start, but like, and the funny thing is like he was saying that he's like, this is one of the best online communities that we've ever seen. It's like, well, that you've ever seen because it's your community. It's the only one you have.
I think he's more just saying like in general.
I don't know, but he was saying like,
The people that do play that game are very passionate.
yeah, and they've stuck around, which he was thanking them for. And this year, when I saw the updates coming to it, I similarly got hyped because I'm like, okay, these are all the things that I didn't like about this game and why I didn't get it. Because there were no NPCs besides the enemies.
Yeah, no human NPCs.
No human NPCs that you can interact with. There was, and therefore there was no dialogue and like no main
That's not true.
story.
That's not true at all. I just want you to know that is
it?
false.
Okay, how so?
I have played the game.
Yeah.
There is dialogue and a main story.
For like how?
You're following a bunch of radio messages.
It's not the same.
It is still a story.
Okay.
It's not a good story. But like, no, you're basically spending most of the game like tracking the overseer of your vault, who's like going on this journey. So you're not even the main character.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, as you're just like one step behind her at every turn, and she's like, "Oh my God, this is happening. Oh, I gotta go. Oh, I gotta go back to my hometown to see what's happening here." And you're just like, "Oh, okay, cool." And you're just like following breadcrumbs.
Right.
Those make more sense.
Yeah.
Non-space breadcrumbs.
But one of the updates to the updates, one, that there are now human NPCs,
Hallelujah.
and two, there's full dialogue trees with those NPCs. That was
Wow, it's almost like it's Fallout now.
no, that was a big point because that was a big point of contention with Fallout 4. Was a fucking stupid D-pad
Yep.
dialogue with only 4 options that you didn't know exactly what he was gonna say.
It's the classic Mass Effect move.
I mean, your player character.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a classic Mass Effect thing. So Mass Effect was slightly better at it too.
And that pissed people off because they're like, that's not what I wanted to say at all.
I just want
and
to
there
say,
are not as many options.
No, I also just want to say really quick that I found nothing funnier in watching the Bethesda conference and watching a group of people in an auditorium cheer when you just walk up to a random dude. Because during the point of the conference where they showed off that there was like human NPCs, it was just like a random dude that you walked up to, and the whole audience just erupted into cheers.
Yeah, I was like, what?
And I'm just like, imagine how low your standards have to be by seeing any dude at all makes you cheer loudly.
And then you open up that dialogue and you see that all those options, like, oh hell yeah!
Oh my God, guys!
And that's funny because that was, if I remember correctly, that was like a jab Obsidian kind of had at Bethesda when they announced Outer Worlds. They're like, oh yeah, and we have full dialogue trees.
Yep.
And Bethesda now is like, hey, we brought back full dialogue trees. And they're like, fucking finally.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when I got a hold of the nuclear winter thing, and that's the thing I really like about Bethesda and Bethesda's conferences, is like anything they announce generally is close to like release, which is you can like see the difference between Microsoft or anybody else in Bethesda, because Bethesda's like, oh, this is happening this year.
Yeah,
everyone's
like
else like
Starfield and Elder Scrolls 6. Yeah,
that's
real
different.
soon, real close.
Those
now.
are like their big ambitions that like people want to know about, and they're like, yeah, like yeah, we're working on this, but these are the things that are coming out soon, and so a lot of these things are available either now. Like that was the thing with what was it? Was it Fallout Shelter? Or like whenever they announced that, they're like, oh yeah, and it's playable today. We're like,
yeah,
oh,
they do
shit.
love making that play. And then like Fallout 4 was announced and it was like 4 months away.
Yeah, that was fucking bonkers. But with this new game mode, it was available. It's available to people at home who have Fallout 76. But I don't have it. So I mean, I got to demo it at E3.
I do.
Yeah. And what I have to say about this game mode is whatever.
Wow, what a shock. A Battle Royale mode in a game that wasn't
Yeah.
built for Battle Royale. Wasn't that great?
Yeah, and that's the funny thing was that like when people were speculating about Fallout 76 before we knew exactly what it was, they're like, oh, is it another Battle Royale? Because that's when all like everything was Battle Royale.
Still is.
Yeah, still is. But and it turned out not to be. And then a year later, they're like, oh yeah, we're adding Battle Royale. Because what I was kind of hopeful for it before I played it, because what I had heard about it is that it does Battle Royale pretty well, and it feels good. And when I played it, I'm like, I haven't played a Bethesda game in a while, so like I totally forgot about the Y to jump and the control scheme, and I was like, oh, this is annoying me now because I'm not used to it anymore.
Bethesda games are just kind of janky.
Yeah.
Let's be entirely honest here. Like, they make good games, but like they don't feel great to play.
Not all the
moment to
time.
moment.
Yeah.
Like Skyrim feels like it came out 10 years ago.
Well, now.
And it felt like it came
Well,
out
okay.
5 years before when it came out.
When
then.
it came out and I started playing it for the first time, I was like, this is weird controls. And then I got used to it and I was like, oh, I fucking love this. And then no other game is like that. So I think actually
there
it might
are a
have
lot
changed.
of actual games like that, but like,
Well, no, like AAA.
I get it.
Yeah.
It's more just like Bethesda gets away with a lot of shit. They're getting away with
Yeah.
it less now.
Yeah.
But like their games come out, they're kind of janky.
Yeah,
but people
speaking
are
of way of getting away with shit with the canvas bags for the pre-orders of Fallout 76,
finally
and
getting
everyone
them.
got like was it like acrylic or like
something like that. Some are really dumb.
Yeah, and people were like outraged they didn't get the actual canvas bags they paid $200 for, and then they actually just started getting them this week.
Yay!
They were shipped to houses, and people are happy about that. Like, oh, finally.
Yep.
Well, besides Fallout, I got to check out Project xCloud, which was pretty cool.
I can't wait to turn my Xbox into a server.
That's the thing. Like, it is streaming, and we talked about this last week. And the potential of like the future of gaming going to streaming, and I felt when I was playing it, I'm like, holy shit, this is the future. Because
You're such a corporate shill.
I don't mean Microsoft specifically, but
Gonna get that Stadia?
I don't know. I haven't tested that.
Guess it's not the future then.
Well, this is the thing I've had hands on with. Okay,
I know, I'm fucking with you.
But I was playing on an Xbox One controller that was hooked up to a phone that was streaming Hellblade from a server in the Bay Area, and it like
Ran at like 13 frames a second.
no, it was
360p. It was fucking beautiful.
It was like full 1080p. I don't know if it was 60 FPS because
It wouldn't be.
yeah.
There's no way.
Well, I mean, it could have been.
I'm
If
telling you, there's no way.
It looked fucking stunning. It was. There was no perceivable lag on my end, and it was beautiful. And I also played Halo 5, and I do realize last week I said I didn't have Halo 5. I actually do own Halo 5, and I have played a little bit of it. Yeah,
Fucking liar.
I totally forgot. And then I went home and I was looking at my Xbox. I'm like, oh, I do have this game. Oh, I did play it.
You know what we should do? We should play Halo 5 together. Because I have not played Halo 5
Okay.
really either.
Okay.
I played bits of it.
And then you guys should record that.
Oh god, that's our first game.
Oh no. But I played it with no perceivable lag, and it was fucking beautiful, and it was flawless. My friend said that he did experience some input lag, but I didn't, like some latency. I didn't feel it. And then
Do you know how good the internet was that you were playing on?
probably very good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's still some.
It's worth
hurdles.
clarifying, but still impressive.
Yeah, and then they're still working on it. But the same thing with with internet availability, that in the next few years will hopefully be more accessible. And I'll get into that later with some of the other things that I witnessed. But after that, I did get to play. I got a demo with the Xbox Elite Series 2. That thing, oh, it feels so good.
I bet.
Yeah, there was a little. What's up?
I've only heard great things about those fucking things.
Yeah, it felt nice, and there was this little demo that was kind of like they made it in house at Xbox, and it was kind of like Fortnite battle royale, but just a demo. Like, but the game itself felt kind of janky, not the controller. And then I played Borderlands 3 with that controller, and oh shit, that feels so nice. And Borderlands 3, awesome. I like we were talking about, I hadn't really played Borderlands. I played a little bit of the first Borderlands single player. And I played this demo was single player. And this game was fucking awesome.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
And
from
it
people.
looked really good too. Like all these games looked incredible. And I think I am actually gonna get this Borderlands 3 at least.
Get it on PC.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna get it on PC.
Okay, I understand.
Along with another person we know who's getting it on PC.
Oh, awesome, cool.
And then we all can play.
Oh fuck, yeah. I never play I never play co-op games because like no one wants to play with me.
I like how it took you a second to realize why I'm saying this.
Well, I understood why, but then I'm like, oh, even more.
I might also have a fourth person who might get
shit.
it on PC, and we could just have a full party of 4 people.
Wow. Yeah, that game felt really nice. Looked really nice. Probably will get it, or yeah, I will get it.
I don't believe you.
That's the thing. Like I always say that I'm gonna get these games, and I never do when they come out. So I'm resolving to pre-order Outer Worlds because I need to fucking get that game. And then probably Borderlands, and then I'm gonna pre-order an Elite Series 2 controller too.
There you go.
So I can just pay for it up front and be like, and then you just come to me, and then I don't have to worry about it.
Come to me.
Yeah. And while we were in the Xbox experience, the Microsoft Theater, I won a month of Game Pass Ultimate.
Nice.
So I'll activate that later. But yeah, so Game Pass Ultimate, what we talked about last week, was basically Game Pass for PC, and Xbox Live Gold, all 3 for $14.99 a month.
I have a really helpful tip for people too, because I learned this when I signed up for Game Pass Ultimate.
Yep.
Every month of Xbox Live you have turns into a month of Game Pass Ultimate when you sign up.
What?
Yes.
That's awesome.
So people buy like a year of Xbox Live and then sign up for Game Pass Ultimate.
Wait a second, because that's only $9.99 a month, right?
Yep.
Oh.
But it only works when you first sign up. It doesn't work after that.
I'm sure, yeah.
Yeah. So I think it like caps at like 3 years. So a lot of people are doing that.
Yeah. I'm so mad too because I could have gotten a year of Game Pass Ultimate. Like they were giving out like if you answered these questions or like did these things within the Xbox experience, then you got like a little card that gave you access to Xbox Game Pass Ultimate for like in like 1, 3, 9, or 12 months. I got 1 month, which is probably the most most one that people get, but I could have got 12 months. I'm mad.
Well, I could have won $6 million in that lottery, I swear to God. But I got nothing, I tell you.
I feel like you've made this joke before.
I don't think so.
Oh, I'm deja vu. Anyway, I did sit in also at E3 Coliseum on a panel on the Elite Series 2 controller.
You sat in on a panel on a controller.
Yeah, it was like the engineers and talking about the changes they made.
I feel like there definitely could have been more interesting.
I did. I sat
cool.
in like 3 or 4 panels.
I know it's cool, but I felt like there definitely could have been cooler panels.
Yeah, there were, and I'll talk about that. But the like some big changes were the like the actuation distance on the triggers, which you can do you can adjust that in 3 different ways. Like there's like a full throw, and then like a half about, and then like hairpin, like really fast. That's the one I was mainly using for Borderlands, which is fucking awesome. And then like they have the grip all around the controller, and then you can have the convex or concave thumb sticks, and you can also adjust the tension of the thumbsticks. And like the tightest tension is is actually the exact same specs as the Xbox 360 controller.
Okay.
Which they wanted to like do because people really like those Xbox 360 controllers.
It's a good controller.
It is. So I'm really looking forward to that. And it doesn't come out until like November, I think.
That sucks.
And I want it now.
You're in love.
Yeah.
They're on the other side of the hypothetical country.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But after that, I did stop by THQ Nordic.
Oh, those folks.
Yeah. Over at,
those folks with like 113 games in production because they just keep sweeping up teams and IPs and shit.
Yeah. They did have a fucking like they had 2 games that I was like not interested in at all.
What were they?
Fuck, I think like one was like Monster Jam.
Oh, it sounds like my Monster Jam, man.
Yeah, there was Gravedigger. I don't know if it was actual Gravedigger or like a replica because the tires looked like they were fucking plastic. But it was like a life-size one.
Okay.
And then like next to it was some like derby game. I don't even know what it was called. I played it. Felt janky as fuck. But the big one that I did play that I was like looking forward to was Destroy All Humans remake. Awesome. It felt like it brought back such good memories. It felt true to the style. It looked beautiful. And I'm so excited for that game.
Sweet.
Yeah. I also played Biomutant.
I remember Biomutant.
Yeah. That was weird. Because like I didn't really know what to expect. I kind of knew what to expect, but not really. And there's like a narrator that walked you through the demo. I don't know if it's gonna be in like, it felt like it was in the main story too. Like that's how you progressed the story. And it like the humor was really reminiscent of like Little Big Planet kind of silliness, and it was really weird. And I don't know if I liked it. I can't tell if I liked it or hated it.
Wow, not even an in between.
No. No.
I either really enjoyed this or it was literal human feces. It's
Yeah.
definitely one of those.
Mm-hmm. I also got to play the Gears of War 5 escape mode.
I thought you were going to play Gears Pop.
No. But yeah, Gears of War 5, the escape mode, that was... I don't like Gears games, the way they play.
I love the way Gears games play, man.
No. Wasn't a big fan. I mean, it looked cool. It probably would be cool if you like Gears. I can't really get behind.
How much
the
Gears have you
playstyle.
played, Chase?
Not that much.
So take that with a grain of salt. Chase isn't familiar with how to play a Gears game very well.
Well, I mean, that's why I don't play Gears games, because I don't like the way it plays.
I get that. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
So we have no idea. Well, I have no idea if it's actually good or not, but Chase says nay.
Mm-hmm. And another panel that I did go to, which was one of the most interesting kind of for me, was the panel with Troy Baker on single player narrative in VR. And he was talking with the developers, like the developer of Lone Echo, which was a game for Oculus.
Yeah.
And the VP of Oculus content was also there. They were talking about Lone Echo and like the way that it uses story as a single player narrative in virtual reality. And they were like also promoting Lone Echo 2, which was also there. Didn't get to play either of those. But Troy Baker had said something really interesting that was actually literally part of my letters when I was applying to colleges. This was part of my college acceptance letter.
This is going to make me cringe.
No, I don't think so. Oh, Cheyenne's nodding. Yes.
Nodding, yeah.
No, because something that I had been really passionate about was like video game narratives and the potential of it being like the main medium of storytelling. And like as a storytelling medium, when you think about how there was a shift from books to movies, like in the early 20th century, as like a main method of telling stories, I think that there's going to be a move from movies to like video games or interactive media within the 21st century. As you see, like VR is becoming more accessible, and like the narratives of games are better than ever. And that's something that Troy Baker definitely touched on almost exactly. He basically said the same thing with like the means of storytelling. So that was really interesting to sit in and listen to.
So what we learned is that Chase and Troy Baker are the same person.
Yep, I am Troy Baker.
He's just doing another voice.
Yeah. You can't tell because...
He's just that good.
Yep. I, Troy Baker, am that good at doing a different voice.
And now we know it's not Troy Baker. Troy Baker is a very humble man.
Yeah. He was very humble in his panel too.
Like almost needlessly humble.
Yeah.
I mean, not like Keanu Reeves humble, but nobody's that humble.
Oh, Keanu. Anyway, another panel that I did see was that was really interesting, and like filled the Novo Theater, was Jeff Keighley moderating a conversation between Elon Musk and Todd Howard. Interesting.
I want you all to hear my silent, confused stare.
Yeah. Two of my favorite people, Elon Musk and Todd Howard, having a conversation about
Teslas
yes, actually,
and SpaceX
yep,
and video games.
and video games. Yes,
See, I didn't even need to be there.
all these three things were talked about in conjunction as well.
And tragic mining accidents.
No,
Good. He's learned how to put that behind him.
he did talk about blowing up 3 rockets though.
Good. He's learned to put that behind him.
Well, someone asked them what their biggest failure was, and
That's a big one.
He talked about that. Yep. But yeah, it was really interesting, and I learned something I already knew, so I didn't learn it.
I was gonna say.
I was how do you say
Are you trying to do a bit here?
no.
How
I'm
you
trying to think of the word I'm trying to say.
So apparently he does need to relearn this. Reacquainted?
Yeah, reacquainted with so I was reacquainted with Elon Musk's madness.
Oh, yes. Again, his name tells you everything you need to know. He is a Bond villain. We're just at the part of the story when the world hasn't learned that yet.
He is crazy in like the best way possible. He is really innovative in that he pushes the envelope a lot and will do things that are out there that no one else would do.
Maybe there's a reason they won't do it.
That's the thing. He kind of touched on that
Most
too.
people don't blow up 3 rockets
Well,
in a very
the
short
reason-
period of time.
He attributed to the reason that most people don't try the things that they're afraid of failure. And he says he's not afraid of failure at all, as evidenced by
Blowing up multiple rockets.
yeah. Because he says if you're not failing, then you're not innovating.
It's true. That
Yeah.
is super true, though.
Yeah. Well, a lot of what he talked about was pretty profound. If he could collect his thoughts.
Too much of that weed.
Someone oh my god, all the audience questions were like, there's only 2 good questions. One of the bad ones was, or I guess one of the interesting ones.
How much do you like weed, Mr. Musk?
No, it was, one of them was like, where are your tusks? I was like, shut the fuck up. The other one, like Elon Tusk, get it?
Yeah, I get it.
The other one.
So glad you wasted ours and your time, sir.
Exactly. Like everyone was wasting time. But he had said, or one of the audience members was like, he's like, I know you deal with a lot of noise up here, and kind of like gestured to like above his head. Like, how do you, he's like, yeah, you're crazy. How do you deal with, or how do you stay focused? And Todd Howard was like, oh, the premise of his question is that you stay focused. Yeah, but they had talked about, like Elon Musk programming his own game when he was like 11 or 12, 13, whatever. And how that kind of introduced him to programming and technology and got him to where he is now.
That small little game was called Pac-Man. No.
No, but he did say that there will be video games coming to Teslas.
That just seems like a bad idea.
Yeah, I know. That's why everyone was like clapping for it, but then they're like, wait. And then Jeff Keighley's like, do you have to be parked? He's like, yes, the fun police say you have to be parked.
Good.
Yeah. And this, okay. So.
The fun police.
Yeah, he literally said that. And I was like, that's fucking hilarious.
Oh, man. He's trying to get people killed.
Yeah. But Todd Howard had then said that Bethesda is working in conjunction with Tesla to get Fallout Shelter on.
Yep, I heard about this.
Yep. So that was big, pretty big. And that was funny. And then Musk was like, and there's also gonna be other games that we have some previews for, and they showed Cuphead. So Cuphead is also coming to Teslas, and then this racing game that you literally control with the car, like you move it with the steering wheel, is how you steer.
This seems like a terrible idea.
Yeah, well, exactly. And everyone was like, "What the fuck? That's amazing!" And then I'm like, "Wait. How do you move?"
I feel like this is the entire thing. It's like, that sounds incredible. Actually, wait a minute.
And Jeff Keighley was like, so do you accelerate with the pedal? And he was like, he's like, you brake with the pedal, but if you stepped on, or you brake with the brake, but if you stepped on the pedal, that could lead to, because like stepping on the brake is fine if you're parked, but the pedal is a little different.
Little bit worse.
So there's like he's saying like maybe the another thing will control that. But apparently, like there's a single player or you play against other Tesla owners. Yeah, really interesting.
One day people are just going to be like, look, I know you beat me in the fucking game. You and me, real race now. Look, I am shocked, though, that Todd Howard wasted a perfectly great opportunity to get Skyrim on something else.
Someone asked him, like someone yelled out Skyrim, and then Todd Howard was like, yeah, we're going to start with Fallout Shelter because that would be a different problem. Like there wouldn't be enough computing power because like Elon Musk even said like these screens were not meant to play video games, so they have like really little memory. But yeah, so look out for Skyrim coming to a Tesla near you. And then later on,
I don't know why you keep trying to scroll this list that is exactly 1 page long.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, it's to keep the screen up, I guess. Yes, but one of the last panel that I went to, which was super fun, was Outer Worlds. The guys at Obsidian talking about Outer Worlds and showing a live demo.
Nice.
Oh, it was nice, Kyle. It was nice. This is the game that I've been fucking waiting for since New Vegas, and it has that like authentic feel, the same as New Vegas, with the full dialogue trees and the NPCs. And the humor, the dark humor. It looks really good.
I'm so glad. No, I'm super excited for the Outer Wilds.
Outer Wilds?
Damn it, I did it again.
The Outer Worlds. Kyle.
It's Outer World.
Is it?
I don't know.
Oh fuck you! Maybe you fucking.
I'm pretty sure it's Outer Worlds.
I'm pretty sure it is too. But. It looks like it plays the same way. There's similar perks, and you can go at things however you want.
Mm-hmm. There's like I thought I read somewhere there's like a way to beat the entire game. Like you can like talk your way out of most like problems and stuff like that. And I always love when you can do that in a game. Like obviously I want some combat in my video games, but like I feel like the more problems you can solve without having to resort to combat, it shows like a stronger game,
right? And similarly, CD Projekt Red did say that Cyberpunk 2077 can be completed without
killing
any humans. They said,
yeah.
So I don't know what you will be killing.
Robots.
Well, yeah, but really interesting. Unfortunately, I didn't get to play, I don't think anyone got to play Cyberpunk. They had like a cinematic, or some kind of show. That line
you
was
could
fucking...
watch people play a demo of it behind closed doors. I'm not kidding.
Yeah,
that's what it was.
Yeah.
Apparently people were quite impressed by that, but
yeah. Well, my friend did get to see it. He said that it was a lot of like he could tell that they were only showing what they were confident with, which like wasn't excessively much.
The game still has a ways to go before it's done.
But if it's true to what it looked like then, just with more mechanics, then it will be amazing.
Yep.
Yeah.
It also might be the first video game I ever got my mom to play.
Really?
Because of Keanu Reeves.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Keanu Reeves, who's like your Cortana, apparently.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Witcher 3 is coming to Switch, too.
Yeah.
Which I
was going to... So, like, we're going to talk about your show floor stuff, and then really quickly, we're going to touch on the conferences we never talked about. But, like, really quickly.
Yeah. But last thing I did... the very last thing I did was get to go into the Final Fantasy 14 booth, and
yes, that game you play online with me all the time.
Sorry. Yeah, and the thing was, I haven't played Final Fantasy 14 in months. Many months.
163 days.
Oh yeah. But they were like demoing a new raid boss from Shadowbringers. And we did not win. I realized that I am not. I mean, I totally forgot how to play. But it was really funny because I was the very last person to get in. And the people like next to me, because it's an 8-player raid. So you need to make a party before they make it for you. And a lot of these people kept going in and out because they kept trying to beat the boss. So like they were serious about it, and I had to I was stuck with these people basically. I mean, I could have went with anybody else in front, but they had kind of approached me, And so I played Paladin for them.
Except poor Chase has never gone past level 50 in Paladin.
Yeah, and I was supposed to be 73 Paladin. So there's a lot of stuff, a lot of moveset stuff I didn't know. And they made changes too.
Mm-hmm.
Like they got rid of
Yep, they did.
Sword Oath, or at least Sword Oath as I knew it.
Yep.
So I'm like, I don't know how to play this, but I'm trying. I didn't let them know that, but we lost.
I think they knew.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it wasn't my fault. Okay.
You can't fake tanking.
I was main tank and I did a good
You
job.
were main tank?
Yeah. Well, because apparently I was better than the main tank, and he's like, "Oh no, you go main tank." I'm like, "Okay."
Oh Jesus.
I was doing a good job. They just
I'm not actually judging you. It's just like, oh Jesus. You haven't played. You're jumping up 23 levels higher than you've ever been.
Yeah.
You haven't played the game in like 5 or 6 months, and you're like, dude, you're still better than the other dude. Please play.
I kept
Please
drawing
be
too
me.
much aggro.
That will be a problem.
Yeah.
That was a big problem for me as a healer for a long time.
Yeah. But the thing was, like, because you're in a raid party, everyone's like trying to collaborate and say what to do, and no one was listening. Well, not no one, but we're like, hey, we're going after this ad and this ad and this ad in this order. People kept drawing aggro from a different one, and they died. I'm like, ah, fuck. But yeah,
Nothing.
That was the
like
last thing I
raiding
did.
with a bunch of idiots.
the last thing I did, and we lost, and they were bummed because it was the very last raid that anyone was going to do.
Till the game comes out.
Yep, and we did
in like a week.
No, it's like 2-3 weeks, July.
Whatever.
Yeah, but that was fun.
I'm so happy for you.
Yeah, so that was basically my experience on the show floor. From what I can remember, it was a really good experience. Like the first 2 days was pretty okay. Third day was like one of my favorites, just because I got to see a lot of stuff and do a lot of stuff. And yeah,
Cool. So now just quick touch on other things from E3 that we didn't go over between last week and your show floorness. So obviously we kind of touched on EA, and then we dove deep into Microsoft. So let's go down the other lists, the other conferences.
Ubisoft after that.
Bethesda
All
is
right,
actually
all right.
next. I mean, Bethesda, like you talked about, Fallout 76.
Mm-hmm.
They showed off more of Wolfenstein Youngbloods.
Oh yeah, I wanted to play that, couldn't.
They also announced the other Wolfenstein game, which is like you in a mech or something. I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah, it was a VR one.
Yeah.
I just started playing Wolfenstein the other day, the first one.
Wow,
pretty fun.
Wolfenstein 3D.
Well, I mean, like
goodness.
the first one in this series.
Yeah.
In the reboot.
I can't remember.
First Order, something like that? No, Second Order? I don't, something Order? I don't know. New Order? Maybe that one.
I think it's New Order.
First, second, third, no?
And then New Colossus is the second one.
Yeah. Because it's on Game Pass. That's why I played
Oh, man, that's a good game.
Mhm.
It does not put its best foot forward, though. I'm not a fan of that first level, and then the rest of the game gets so much better.
It's pretty good.
But they also showed off more Doom Eternal.
Ooh, people are excited for that one.
I'm super excited for that one. I loved the last Doom. And then they just did other stuff. The problem with the Bethesda conference was just like, there wasn't that much gameplay shown.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just kind of like, okay, cool. I mean, to be fair, there wasn't that much gameplay shown during the Microsoft conference either. But I feel like that was just jam-packed full of stuff, where this more felt like Bethesda did not need to be here this year. And they just were.
Yeah.
Like, they didn't need to have a conference. They could have been on the show floor. They could have had a presence. They could have shown off some of these games in other conferences.
Yeah.
But like...
Their own yeah. But like I was saying, that's what I liked about their conference was that most of the stuff they were talking about had a closer release date.
I know, but...
and
I don't know.
I started playing Elder Scrolls Legends right after that conference. I'd played it a little bit before, and I've been playing it since.
Corporate shill.
What?
I get you. And then there was the Devolver Digital panel. I didn't watch that one.
I did not watch that one at all.
Devolver, they make good... They publish good little indie games.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I got. The PC Gaming Show, didn't watch that one
Nope.
either.
I was at work at that point.
Okay,
I can
so
go back and watch it.
Ubisoft on Monday. I didn't watch this panel, and I didn't care much about what I heard.
Well, they had the Avengers one, right?
That's not
Where's that?
Ubisoft. That's in Square Enix. We'll get to it next.
You're right.
So Ubisoft, they showed off the new DLC for stuff. And they also, I mean, the big thing was Watch Dogs.
Right. That one looked pretty cool.
Watch Dogs Legion. I liked Watch Dogs 2.
I liked Watch Dogs 1.
I didn't like Watch Dogs 1.
I didn't play the second one.
The second one's better.
Okay. I'll take your word for it.
Man, but the second one sold way worse. It's like the first Watch Dogs sold really well, but wasn't super critically acclaimed. Second Watch Dogs, much better critically acclaimed. Way fewer people bought it. So we'll see how this one does. I'm actually surprised that they're still pushing this franchise. Not unhappy, just surprised.
Yeah.
There was other stuff, but like generally, the conference was kind of a meh. What wasn't a meh? Square Enix.
Right.
So, Final Fantasy VII Remake. Prior to this conference, I barely gave a shit.
Really?
Look, I love Final Fantasy VII. I also had zero confidence this game would be any good.
Well, I mean, after the second remake, you didn't have any faith? Or never mind.
What?
Never mind.
I don't know what you're saying. I did not really have any confidence that this game would be that much good because while I enjoyed Final Fantasy 15, that was like a 7 out of 10 game in my opinion. Kingdom Hearts 3 was heavily flawed in my opinion.
Yeah, I remember
Gameplay should have been way better than it was, but like somebody described it as like it still kind of felt like a PS2 game and it looked like a PS4 game. I think that's completely true. I don't know. It's just like I like a lot of people creatively behind this game, but Square has not been at their peak for quite some time. That being said, they have been pounding away at this game for quite some time now, and it's just they finally were not afraid to show it off in full like showing of everybody. That combat system sounds fucking awesome. And according to everybody that played the demo, it is. Like from every reporter, from every like YouTuber, from everybody I know that got their hands on that game to play it, they were in love. This is people who aren't even big fans of Final Fantasy. These are people who are huge fans of Final Fantasy VII. Like everything about this should have been a no, and it's a yes.
That's great.
And that has me excited. What doesn't have me excited is that I don't know how long it's going to take for this actual whole game to get released. So, March 3rd, 2020, my birthday.
Right.
We get the first episode, which is apparently the Midgar section of the game. That is correct. It's just the first episode.
Yeah, okay.
But it's apparently on 2 Blu-ray discs.
Okay.
But Midgar is beatable in like 8 hours in the original Final Fantasy.
Blu-ray discs still?
Sony?
Aren't they like all Blu-ray discs? Or like I thought they were all the same.
What are you talking about?
I haven't had like I guess I haven't bought in physical media in a long time.
I'm trying to understand what your question is.
You made the point that it was Blu-ray discs.
No, 2 of them.
Yeah.
Games don't come on 2 discs anymore, Chase.
Well, Grand Theft Auto did. Red Dead Redemption did, no?
Okay, so those games, their first disc was literally just for installing the game.
Oh, that's what I assumed that it was going to be.
Apparently not.
Oh. Okay. It's going to be like LA Noire, like a new section on each?
Well, I mean, this is what games used to be in the PlayStation era. I mean, Final Fantasy VII had 3 discs. But yeah, I don't know, man. Like, again, they said it's like the Midgar section of the game is episode 1. And literally, I know, I just replayed it. I beat Midgar in like 7.5 hours in Final Fantasy VII. And I'm like, that is such a small chunk of this game. That how many fucking episodes are there going to be? And when they were asked about it, they're like, we don't even know. And I'm like, oh no.
Great. They're milking it.
I mean, I get that. And it's a full $60 game.
The
episode 1.
Oh shit.
Like, I don't know if like every episode after that is going to be like free. I doubt it heavily.
I doubt it.
But like, I don't know, man. This kind of has me worried, but I'm also a corporate shill for Square. So
corporate shill.
Nah, I am loyal to Square despite them anymore.
I am loyal to Bethesda despite them.
I know.
Yeah, but I mean, Final Fantasy VIII remastered.
Yeah, that's a big deal because apparently there were a lot of problems with getting that because like there are the competing rumors between one, like they didn't have the rights to some of the music.
Interesting.
Or 2, the seemingly more accurate, they lost all of the actual game files for Final Fantasy VIII.
What the fuck? How do you just lose them?
They're like competing stories where it's like, oh, they were destroyed, or like they just weren't backed up properly when they started working on 9, and just like, so that's why when like it was like Final Fantasy games coming to Switch, 7, 9, 10, 12, and people are like, you missed one. They now haven't.
Okay.
So 8 is coming. It looks like 8, but slightly prettier. I have qualms with 8. It's a good game, but it's a janky game. But yeah, people are really happy about that. There were a couple other little things in the Square Enix conference, but let's be entirely honest. The only other thing on people's minds is Avengers.
Yeah. And people were really hyped for it at the beginning. And now, not so much.
Yeah. I mean, they didn't really show off that much gameplay on screen. Apparently, they showed off gameplay behind closed doors.
Yeah, I couldn't get into that either.
And people were like, it looks like a game.
With microtransactions, apparently.
What?
Yeah, it's going to have microtransactions. That was a...
Well, I heard it was like cosmetic. Because like characters are free.
Either way.
All new characters they released, they confirmed are free. And that's the
I would
biggest
hope
deal.
so.
That is... I know you say you would hope so, but that isn't usually the thing that people charge for in these sorts of games. Yeah, people are like, the gameplay looks fine. Hulk and Thor look like apparently the most fun to play. Captain America and Black Widow just kind of look like they play like an Arkham game. Which isn't bad, but I don't know. I think people are kind of done with that combat system. So yeah, it's a game. Apparently you can play with up to 3 friends. That might be the only reason to do it. Yeah, people were, but that voice cast, man.
Oh, yes. When I saw that, I was like, oh my fucking God.
I know 4/5 of the people sitting on that
Me
couch.
too. Exactly. And I was watching it with my supervisor because, yeah. And she was like totally confused when I started freaking out.
You just don't know, man.
Yeah.
Anytime I told anybody, though, I'm like, man, the freaking voice cast for that, and people are like, did they get like the actual actors? I'm like, no,
better.
They got really good voice actors. They're like, oh, whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, shut up.
Everyone's like, well, they should have got the original, the original. That's like the original movie cast. I'm like, fuck you.
No. Yeah. So we have Travis Willingham as Thor, Laura Bailey as Black Widow. Troy Baker as the Hulk / Bruce Banner. Probably just Bruce Banner.
Yeah. Nolan
North as Iron Man. And then the guy who played Javier from from season 3 of The Walking Dead as Captain America.
Is that who that is? Oh my God.
And you're just like, I'm sorry, dude. I don't even know your name. I looked you up. I'm like, oh, that's where I can place that voice.
Oh my God.
I do love too on the story teaser. They're like, and Captain America has fallen. It's like, and Captain America, one of your 5 main characters. I'm like, I don't think he's fallen.
Yeah.
Could at least kind of stretch that one out. Yeah. I mean, I might get it anyway, but I'm not super stoked for it. To be fair, I wasn't one of those people super hyped for that game to begin with. I was way more interested in Final Fantasy. And then that seemed to be the right horse to put all of my bets on. But yeah. Yep. And then last, but certainly not least, was the Nintendo Direct.
Right. Luigi's Mansion 3?
That's your takeaway from the Nintendo Direct?
Well, I mean, Pokemon Sword and Shield. Wanted to play it. Couldn't.
What a shock.
Yep.
Spoilers. It's Pokemon.
Well, I mean, there's like that Dynamax system where they get all big and shit and like...
Which just seems like the new version of like the Mega Evolutions or whatever. I don't know, man. I feel like Pokemon just always has like some new gimmick they're trying out in every version. It's just like, I just can't be bothered anymore. I'm an old man in my soul. I can't enjoy your kiddie games no more.
Well, what was your takeaway from that? Was it Pokemon?
No. I think the big one was fucking the Breath of the Wild sequel.
Oh yeah.
Indifferent.
Well, I don't know.
Okay, no. I mean, first of all, Zelda games don't get sequels very often.
Yeah, like Majora's Mask was technically a sequel to Ocarina of Time.
Absolutely was. Link Between Worlds is a sequel to Link to the Past.
Yeah, and well, I mean, from what we've seen of this new Breath of the Wild sequel, people are comparing it to Majora's Mask, and that like it looks a little more horror-y, or like at least have some scary darker elements.
Also, apparently,
which I really loved about Majora's Mask.
It's also apparently a bit more story focused, which I think is a good thing.
Yeah, that's why I I've played a little bit of Breath of the Wild. I just couldn't get that much into it because of the open world, like how big it was.
The thing most people loved for it.
Yeah,
loved it for.
yeah. I wanted more like in a Zelda game. I think of more direct story, and that's kind of what I wanted.
I really enjoyed Breath of the Wild. I didn't love it as much as I think a lot of people did, but I still really enjoyed my time with that game. I just kind of got sick of it. I got to the boss of the game. I died. I was like, I don't care. And then I never played it again.
Yeah. But I mean, I'll probably, well, I have to finish Breath of the Wild before I.
You won't, and we both know it.
Nope, I won't.
All right. So, other big news. We got 2 new character announcements for Smash.
Right. And Mortal Kombat 11.
Oh, yeah. As opposed to 9.
Well, I mean, Spawn, that was my big one.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's cool. Definitely. But,
we got Banjo.
we got Banjo-Kazooie, and we got the hero from Dragon Quest.
Oh, right. My only takeaway from that was Banjo and Kazooie.
It is actually really funny, just how people are just like, oh, cool, the hero from Dragon Quest. Hey, that's like the West's reaction.
Yeah, I'm sure.
If you watch fucking Japanese gamers reacting to this shit, lost their goddamn minds. Because, I mean, you need to understand, Dragon Quest
really big games
comes out on weekends in Japan because of the fear of people skipping school and work, because that's what used to happen when Dragon Quest games came out.
Oh my god.
Basically, Japan pauses for a day whenever a Dragon Quest game comes out. That's how big those things fucking are. That's not a joke. I'm not kidding. Like, that's real. Those games are huge in Japan. They're the biggest thing in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
And in the West, they're like, eh. I loved the last Dragon Quest game.
Mm-hmm.
It was fantastic, and I platinumed it.
Of course you did.
I don't platinum that many games. I don't platinum RPGs very much because those are usually a fucking grind. But that game was worth it. It was so goddamn good.
Good.
Other than that, though, there was also me really stoked, me, for Fire Emblem 3 Houses.
Oh, I didn't even see anything about that. Like, I didn't.
They showed off another story trailer, and then a little while later, they showed off like a 30-minute gameplay chunk.
Ooh.
Not in the direct. Dude. So first of all, the trailer definitely trying to get people interested showed something I wish they hadn't in the trailer. I feel like it would have been a much better surprise if you'd just been playing the game and this shit happened. Yeah. They've confirmed the time skip. So like apparently the first chunk of the game is you like working with your students in the academy, building them up and stuff. And then there's like a 5-year time jump. And then like everybody's in open war.
Oh.
And so like you are fighting against like former students at the academy and killing them.
Mm-hmm.
And like depending on the choices you made, the people you befriended and stuff, you can save certain people and have them join your army and crap like that. Seems fucking nuts. Seems awesome. Really excited for this game. It also confirmed that all of the leaks are real.
Oh. Don't you love when that happens?
Yeah, there's a guy who like leaked a bunch of shit and people are like, okay, buddy. And they were like, well, some of these new releases kind of sound accurate. Same thing with Game of Thrones. Yeah. And they're like, well, some of this might be accurate. Bro, after this time skip, like, yeah, he got it all. Okay, now we know everything about this goddamn game. He didn't spoil everything, but it was mostly just like, and this, and this, and this, and this. And people were just like, it was just enough for him to, I feel like, gloat that he actually knew what he was talking about. Yeah. And it's like, there will be a time skip. And like, Edelgard will have an awesome headdress thing. And you're just like, what? And then it showed off and like, he nailed all of it. Son of a bitch. All I know about that game is I'm super excited because it looks like it still has the heart of Fire Emblem, but it's going in a super different direction, which I think the series needed. Good. Because like those games were becoming like Awakening is a great game. Mm-hmm. It really is, and it saved the franchise, and I'll love it for that forever. But it has its flaws. Fates, all 3 of those games are not that good. I'm not a huge fan of any of them for many reasons. Bad writing. Bad map design, gimmicky maps, like just like a bunch of like half-hearted gameplay. The story was so bad. And so I was really worried going into this game. Yeah. Because I love Fire Emblem. I've been playing the Fire Emblem games since they came out in the West, like since freaking Fire Emblem 7, or Fire Emblem as it was known. I played every game that's come out since. And this series has a special place in my heart. And I hope this one's good. And it looks like it will be.
That's hopeful.
Yeah, I like all the new changes because it's like all the characters are super customizable. They have like you can train them in different like weapons or magic types and stuff, and kind of like depending on their affinity for certain classes, you can like have them take exams to become like new classes and stuff. So you're like, this person has like rank like D in staves and like rank C in swords, and that allows them to take the exam for like this class. Now they have that as access for like classes they can change.
Yeah.
But in addition, you also equip battalions onto your characters. So like, say you have an archer, you can equip like a spear battalion onto them so that if they get counterattack, they can kind of defend themselves even in close range. It's like that sort of stuff. It's like interesting, and I'm curious.
Okay.
All right. Anything else you want to talk about before we go?
Well, I will be going to E3 again next year. I would like to say probably.
I'd assume so.
Yeah, and I mean, like I said at the beginning, like it felt like there was less people that this time than last year. And people were saying like E3's dying. Sony pulled out this year, or at least skipped this year.
I think they'll go back next year.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know, because it's like good for attendees that there's less people, because there was like way less people the third day, and then like towards the end of the second day. But it's probably not the best for E3.
Probably not.
No.
I mean, writing's been on the wall for E3 for a while. It's just not as necessary, and it's becoming less of an event. Like this E3, like it was fun. It was kind of exciting, but it wasn't that big of a deal.
Yeah.
Like E3 2-3 years ago, like shit stopped when E3 came, and every gamer was glued.
Exactly.
And now it's just like, oh yeah, there were more conferences. I'm like, I'll read what happened after. I might watch the conference if it's Square Enix.
Corporate shill.
Damn right.
Yeah.
Well, mostly there was just shit I was interested in. But like,
Yeah.
I mean, in general, it's just like, I don't know. I feel like nobody had something huge this year.
Yeah, that's
even
kind of the
Xbox, who had
problem.
the opportunity to like bring out a punch with the actual announcement of their console, they didn't. They teased it.
Not already yet.
Like, I get that, but like, you knew this was coming.
Yeah.
And you knew all eyes were on you, and you said you were going to be talking about it.
Exactly.
The hype was high. And while it's interesting what they announced, and it's cool what they showed, like they didn't show any gameplay. They didn't show anything running on the system specs for this thing. They didn't give us a name. They didn't give us a price. They didn't give us fucking anything. They gave us
They gave us a date. Kind of a date.
They gave us a window.
Yeah, a window.
Holiday 2020.
Yeah.
Literally a year and a half away.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like whatever date they put, I feel like Sony is going to release like 2 months earlier.
Yeah, they're just going to be like,
October.
Yep. Like E3, I used to always kind of watch YouTubers cover it mostly, or something about it, and then like just going, it's a different feel. But at the same time, it's easy to get like distracted and not see anything.
I bet
while seeing everything. But it's a fun experience, and you get to see a lot of people.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm really curious about these fucking upcoming consoles and worried about them at the same time too, which I know sounds weird, but I mean, Xbox did confirm that their new console is 4 times more powerful, like the processor 4 times more powerful than the Xbox One X.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And that thing's fairly beefy.
Mm-hmm.
And from what developers are like saying behind like doors and in secret like conversations and stuff, apparently the PlayStation 5 is even stronger.
Ooh.
How expensive are these things going to be?
Well, how expensive was the One X or the one when it released? I feel like it was like
the Xbox One was $500, but that's because it came with the Kinect.
Did it?
The Xbox One? Did you forget this? The Xbox One.
I got an Xbox One. I didn't get a Kinect with that shit.
When it came out, it came bundled with a Kinect.
Oh.
You had to buy it with one. I
Maybe
assure you.
Yeah, I finished out that window.
So it was $500. Once they started allowing you to not get it with the Kinect, it would drop down to $400, which is what the PlayStation 4 released at. Nobody was willing to pay $500 for the Xbox One. I believe the Xbox One X is also $500, but it's the most powerful like console on the market. It's a bit easier of a sell. I feel like these consoles are going to be $600.
That's what I was feeling too.
And the last time somebody tried to release a console at $600, it took them 7 years to recover. That would be the PlayStation 3. That would be the Sony so high on themselves from the PS2 that they're like, people will sell their things and eat less food so they can afford our console. That's what they said.
Fuck.
I mean, no, to be fair, this is $600 in like 2000 and whatever money, but it's still a high price point. And will games be more expensive? Because that's the rumor too, that games might be going up to $70.
Fuck.
Which really, let's be entirely honest, is still super affordable.
And super expensive at the same time.
Yes, but we also need to bear in mind games have been $60 now for, 15 years?
Yeah.
And how much has inflation changed? Games are cheaper now than they've ever been.
Yeah, and there's like a lot in games.
Yes.
That you get for that price.
Well, depends on the game.
Depends on the game, yeah. Like you get an unfinished game for $60.
I'm kind of glad I didn't buy Tacoma. I finished it in 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
But I loved playing it.
Like when people buy Unity, Assassin's Creed, they're mad about that.
How long was that game? I never played it. I skipped
well,
it.
not, but like it just felt unfinished. Or like,
yeah. Yeah,
like a lot of games.
Some games, like
Ubisoft specifically.
Yeah. A lot of games, it really varies greatly. But I mean, that's the thing too. Prices don't for like bigger games.
Yeah.
But like you can pay $60 for The Witcher 3.
Great game.
And you can pay $60.
Amazing game.
And you can pay $60 when it came out for freaking The Order 1886, which was 5 hours long.
Fuck.
And 2.5 hours of that was watching a movie.
Fuck. That's insane.
So like, I don't know. I watch YouTubers and people who kind of talk about maybe adding a bit more of a variety in these fucking prices based on what your game is actually worth. Like I would have paid $80 for The Witcher because it's worth it. And I would pay $30 for something like The Order because it's still clearly a polished product. It's just, not as long. And I know some games play with the pricing scheme, but most of them don't. That
interests me too because like I had always seen all games when they released at like $60. And then recently I'd been seeing games for like 40 or 50 and I'm like, why are you selling yourself short?
See, that's the mindset that we need to get out of.
Yeah, and I'm like, why is this cheaper? Is it not as good or something?
Yeah,
like,
see, that's the worry that we need to break. And that's the reason why people don't, honestly, I think in a lot of ways. Because like I remember the Ratchet and Clank remake of the first game that they put on PS4 that was made to accompany the movie. That game was $40. The game was great. They were just like, this is what we think the game should cost.
Yeah.
People were like, okie dokie. So I feel like there are going to be some interesting things going on moving forward. I don't know. And like, God knows if on Xbox you'll ever buy another game again with fucking Game Pass.
Yeah. Or an xCloud.
Yeah. I mean,
like physical media.
Yeah. You need to pay for that though.
Yeah. But I mean,
yeah, how's the pricing work for that?
They
actually
don't.
Exactly.
They don't even know themselves.
Is it like fucking Stadia where you have to pay like a subscription fee and then also have to pay for the games?
A lot of people were asking if it was going to be included with Game Pass. If it would be somehow bundled with Game Pass for a certain price. And they don't know. Like they don't even know.
I feel like very quickly the Game Pass, like the Game Pass Ultimate is just going to become like the Xbox Pass. And it's just like everything you need for like $25 a month.
Yeah.
Which would still probably be worth it. Like, I'm paying $15 a month for the fucking Xbox Ultimate. Like, that thing is such a good deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we shall see. There we go. We got like 2 whole episodes about video games. Made my little heart happy.
Yeah. Well, thank you all for joining us. And if you had any questions or wanted to say anything to us, give us a shout.
Go to our subreddit at r/that doesn't exist.
Yeah, r/that doesn't exist. I'm sure that's a subreddit.
That's actually probably true.
Nice marketing, Kyle. On Twitter at ZymMedia.
Or you can just call me. My number is 310-647.
Tweet us.
Yeah, tweet us, find us, stalk us. Whatever you have to do.
Don't do that.
I mean, will they?
You don't know.
I did just kind of give somebody permission to stalk me. Is it really stalking at that point? That's the question we'll ponder about next week when someone starts stalking us. That'll be our topic. Yeah. All right. Thanks, everybody, for listening. My name is Kyle.
I'm Chase.
I'm Cheyenne. Bye.
So long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen,
Goodbye. See you later, everybody.
Oh, no.